All right, one last mic check. Check.
Check.
Do this one. Check.
I thought you were going for me.
My fault.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just the proverbial talking head.
All right, we're live here on the GospelStation.com Sports and Talk with our new special NBA show live at Taco Bueno. Luke Young, Blake Vance out here. It's the NBA Playoffs 2026. We're 2 games into every series that's here on our whiteboard. We're going through each matchup, previewing what comes next, and giving our predictions, and also, of course, catching you up on the latest news. But first, we're at Taco Bueno. Obviously, I said that in the start, some information on them. Taco Bueno's right up on Northwest Expressway, and they kind of get a peek behind the curtain here. See all the notes we have.
Yeah,
This is
they
pretty
do.
cool. 7104 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Call 405-721-3936. Under brand new management, and they've got some of the best food around. We actually had a patron come up to us earlier and told us she comes here 4 times
a week
because the food is so good.
Yeah, it's thanks to Mr. Germain. He is just outstanding. Turn this place around pretty quickly.
The best. Takeout, delivery, they do it all. Open until 11 p.m.
And I don't know if you can really see it, but on the souvenir cups, free taco on Thunder game days.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up, right? And that's a lot of game days
whenever the Thunder are playing, come get yourself a taco.
All right, so, Blake, let's go ahead and hop into this one. Just first for a general look, what's our show looking like today? What's this all about?
So I'm thinking we're going to go through the East matchups right here. Pistons, Magic, Cavs, Raptors, so on and so forth. Next segment, we hop over to the West for our Thunder, and then Suns through the Blazers and all that good stuff. We're going to probably do all the way to the conference finals. In the next segment, we're probably going to do a little bit about NBA finals, maybe the winner. And then on the last segment, I think what we're going to do is do a little game and maybe talk about some matchups.
All right, so let's go ahead and just hop into this real quick. I got the green for the Celtics jersey.
Man, I need to get blue for the Thunder.
Now, I'm going to try to do my best not to turn around so they don't see the name on the back of it, but
if you're a true Thunder fan, you know who that is. So.
Oh, man. Hey, let's go ahead and start with the 1 versus 8, Pistons versus Magic. A 1-1 series right now. Some people expected this to already be 2-0 Pistons. I saw this game and I said, hey, the Magic have nothing to lose. They weren't supposed to be here. Detroit has a star coming off of a collapsed lung. This could go either way.
You need to get as many games as possible for the Magic. You got the star, Cade Cunningham, who was an MVP candidate with a collapsed lung. He's coming back. They probably should have been up 2-0, but the Magic just had an outstanding game in Game 2. So the Pistons have a bunch of guys. I believe Amen Thompson is on. It's either Amen or Asir. I can't remember which one. It's one of the twins. But they got one of them. They got guys like Duncan Robinson, stuff like that, who can absolutely just bomb from 3.
What has been so fun about this matchup is because of how well the Magic actually match up into Detroit. They play tough. They play fast when they're at their best. They have physicality that Detroit,
especially with guys like Desmond Bain.
Yeah, really struggle to match
guys like Desmond Bain whose biceps are bigger than my thighs. So
Now,
it's a real fun one.
Going back to that first game, the difference between game one and game two. Game two, Detroit wins. Game one, Orlando kind of stunned them at home. Now it's tied going on the road. The Magic were able to use their offensive options is really what they have.
Yes, they were.
Like 4 different consistent scores. I think in game one they had 4 out of their 5, if not all 5, in double-digit scoring.
If I remember correctly.
That's kind of been how they win these games, how they play to the advantage. And yeah, you mentioned it, but Baines, Suggs, they've got guys.
They've got a bunch of dudes on there.
I'm going back all the way to that first game, and we're going to pull up the box score real quick. Here we go. Hornets Magic. 121-90 win. Oh, Hornets Magic. Wrong one.
That was an interesting one.
We're professionals here. Don't worry. Magic Pistons. There we go. 112-101 win. Looking at the box score, some of the highlight standouts. Banchero, 23 points. Wagner, 19. Carter Jr. had 17. Bain had 17. And Suggs had 16. So all 5 were in double digits. Of course, off the bench now, it fell off a little bit. You had De Silva with 7 and Black with 7, and that was the highest anyone got off the bench. But when your starters are shooting that well, and by the way, Banchero was 1 rebound away from a double-double, I mean, it makes sense how they won that game.
It does, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But, yeah, Banchero's just an absolute monster out there, and I have a problem with him trying to shoot so many threes, but that's the modern NBA, y'all. So guys like Banchero, Suggs can get hot in a hurry. Bain can knock down a bunch of threes. They just got a bunch of dudes, and then the Pistons got a bunch of dudes that can do basically the same thing. Cade Cunningham, OSU's own, by the way. Just saying, he just is an absolute dog out there. Duncan Robinson can knock it down. Their center's name is escaping me, but he can knock it down. There we go.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Don't worry.
Jalen Duren's an absolute dog out there. Tobias Harris, he can get it going. And our favorite guy, Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart, who likes to come at LeBron every once in a while. But yeah, it's just an absolute insane matchup right now. They were 10 of 32 from 3 last game. Not going to get it done in this modern NBA.
Yeah, and going back to game one, right, it's all starters. Pretty much nothing off the bench. It's all starters, and Orlando hangs with them, then stuns them late. That's kind of what their game plan was going into game 2. Now, why didn't that work in game 2?
I mean, you can't get all of them by the same, because they're going to make adjustments. It's your job. You got to hit first. They make adjustments, then you adjust to that adjustment, and so on and so forth. It's just one of those deals where it's all tit for tat. And I believe the stat was 72% of the time the winner of game 1 in the first round goes on to win the series. So
really?
getting the first game is super important, at least in the first round.
Especially on the road against the 1 seed, it becomes even more important.
If you can steal one on the road, that's even better.
In that game, Suggs had 19, Banchero had 18. They kind of stayed the standout performers for Orlando. But the three-point shooting wasn't great, and there were a lot of free throws left on the board in game number 2.
Yeah, I didn't get to catch all of it, but with the free throw numbers and all that good stuff, I didn't really look at that. Yeah, 32, so 9 free throws missed for Orlando, and looks like there were 10 missed for the Pistons, so they got away with one there. Probably just a good night from 3, either that or Orlando just couldn't hit. So.
It seemed like a lot of times Orlando couldn't hit, because I can't tell you how many times, like, I believe it was Banchero goes to the line and he knocks down none, and he goes back, and then the next time he'll make it, and then he comes back and doesn't hit anything, is what it felt like in that game. But those 2 players, Banchero and Suggs, are the guys for Orlando. If they're going to win this series, they need to ball out every single night, and that's tough as an 8 seed.
It's very tough to do, especially when you're going up against a juggernaut defensively like the Pistons. I mean, I mentioned him before. Isaiah Stewart he anchors the paint really well for the Pistons, and Suggs and Bain are both outstanding perimeter defenders. You put them on the best guys and say, hey, you just go ahead and take that.
Yeah, take that away from him, right?
Yeah. He will not be beating us today.
In game number 1, so if Orlando had all starters in double digits, in game number 2, Detroit had all starters in double digits. A little bit of a trend going on there.
Well, it might go that way.
Does that mean it goes back at Orlando now?
I believe so. I'm thinking. I think that the Pistons are going to come out on a tear because they're like, we shouldn't drop that game. We need to get this one back.
Hey, we've talked a lot about Orlando, but not so much about Detroit. Cunningham coming off of that collapsed lung, I expected him to kind of take some time to get back in.
As did I.
And then he just didn't do that.
He did not. I mean, you're the 1 seed protecting home court. If you're a competitor, you're going to want to be out there with your guys. That's competitor 101.
Now, I know...
Unless you just absolutely can't be out there.
Yeah, I know Harris had 16, but to me, Jalen Duren was the other, and I think you mentioned him too. He was the other key player for the Pistons. Now, it feels like, again, it's more evenly matched than you might have expected between a 1 seed and an 8 seed because it's 2 stars on this side that are going to determine the game and 2 stars on this side that are going to determine the game.
Yes, it's basically a 2-on-2 matchup. One guy has you basically have a 1.5-on-2 matchup because of the collapsed lung. So
I don't know. I slowed him down much.
Cade, he's been getting his feel back pretty quickly from that. What did he get last time out? He got 27. Not too bad for a collapsed lung.
Double too. He had 11 assists.
Oh, he tends to do that, as we saw him at Oklahoma State. So
now the last thing I want to touch on here before we move on to our next game is while I was watching that, the Inside the NBA crew had some really good insights. Bear with me here. Charles Barkley actually said about this game, he felt like they were playing too slow on both sides.
Well, and the Pistons like to play fast, so does Orlando. But that's the thing in the NBA. Once the playoffs hit, it slows down. So there's not as much pace and space as the Thunder against the Suns, which we'll get into later. But that's been a lot of pace. But the Thunder only know 1 speed. But once you get to the playoffs, it's a half-court game. It's all what can you do in a set because everyone's got film on you and they're trying to take away what you do best.
Right. It's a game of adjustment to adjustment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Blake, go ahead and write in who your prediction is for moving on between Pistons Magic.
My pick, I got Detroit in 4. That's what my phone said. I'm sticking with it, but there's a 1 game right there, so let's call it 5.
Detroit in 5. That's the official prediction.
Yes. That's the prediction for here. I've already got it. I've got the picks on my phone, but it's so hard to pick a 7-game series. Like a one and done, that's a lot easier. Just boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I'll probably be wrong on the games on most of these, but I will most likely be right on the ones that win.
The way I explain it is each game is a 50-50 contest between the Magic and the Pistons, but the series leans Detroit. So I'm going with that for now, too. Next game down, Cavs-Raptors, 2-0 lead for the Cavaliers. This one doesn't feel quite as close.
It's not. I mean, you got Brandon Ingram, and who else do you really got? Besides, I think Precious Achiuwa, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't keep up with all the trades, but I believe Achiuwa's on there. Let me take a look. We're very professional here at the Gospel Station.
Game number 2, 115-105 win for the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And again, it never really felt like the Raptors threatened them.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Jamal Shed. He's a dog. I saw him actually on a YouTube channel. They were like bringing in NBA players so that the street ballers could know there's a difference in skill level. There's levels to this, as they say.
There's levels to it.
And then you got Jakob Poeltl in the man down the paint, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett. Yeah, I forgot they had RJ Barrett. But yeah, RJ Barrett can get hot in a hurry. He's more of a rhythm guy. If he knocks down a couple, he's liable to really get going. But you can't really see that in the series matchup. But I mean, if he gets hot one day, they might win one.
Of course, when you're looking at Cleveland Cavaliers, I mean Wade, Allen, Mobley, Harden, Mitchell, that is a killer lineup right there, stacked with names top to bottom.
Yes, and Jared Allen, just an absolute dog in the paint. He should have probably been a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. James Harden always. He's going to get you right around here, but not much further. As,
Is that the official prediction?
as we saw in OKC, in Houston, and so on and so forth. No hate on James, but you are who you are, James. I'm sorry.
All right, so let me go ahead and erase this off the top. And this is why I got this cool old whiteboard, is because I can do this now. Your impact players for Cavs, Raptors, I mean, you're looking at that, and it's 10 points for Allen, 25 for Mobley, 28 for Harden, and 30 for Mitchell. I mean, that offense was lights out in game number 2.
Yeah, for the Cavs, we're going to go, the impact is going to be Harden, Mitchell. You can't read my sloppy handwriting, but it's fine.
It's all good. You're writing vertically on a propped up whiteboard.
And Allen. Allen's going to have to man down the paint, get really key defensive stops against this Raptor squad who loves to drive. Brandon Ingram, he's a midi assassin out there. But Harden's got to get Mitchell. He can't be James Harden, especially not at this point in his career. He's getting up there in years. He can't just dribble, and 5 step backs, shot. Mitchell's going to have to be the star of this series, and Allen's going to have to get some key rebounds.
Yeah, and to come back from a 2-0 deficit if you're the Raptors,
not easy.
You need, obviously, better scoring, because you look at theirs, it's Barrett and Barnes in game 2 that were all the scoring. That was it. I mean, they had a good bench game, don't get me wrong, but out of the starters, that was it. They need better production from their starters.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, that's essentially 3 All-Stars. Essentially 3 All-Stars to one or two. I think Ingram was only a 2-time All-Star, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can check me on that. But on the Raptors side, Ingram's got to get hot if they hope to make this a series.
I agree.
You got to have one Barrett game.
I mean, they got 22, 9, and 5 out of him in the last one. That was a pretty good game.
It's a good game, but he's capable of doing a lot more if he really gets going.
10 for 13 from the field. I mean, that's not bad.
And then Barnes, if he gets the rebound, look for him to take off and go coast to coast with it.
So there's your breakdown of Cavs, Raptors. Who do you see moving on in this game?
In this one, I love me some Raptors. But these 3 are going to be able to get it done against the Raptors.
So you're saying these guys better than those guys?
Harden's better than Barrett, Mitchell's better than Ingram right now, and Allen's better than Barnes right now.
There you go. So it's going to be Detroit Cavs in the semis. That's what we've got.
That's what I've got.
Moving down the list, we're running out of time, so let's hit these 2 quick. Knicks, Hawks.
Yeah, so Knicks, they've got a bunch of moving pieces. They just fired Thibodeau.
Yep.
They've got, I believe it's Mike Brown, if I'm not mistaken. They run their stars ragged, and I have a big problem with Karl Anthony Towns shooting 18 threes a game, but we're not going to get into that.
It's not time for the rant yet.
It's not that time yet. But Brunson's one of the candidates for Clutch Player of the Year. He can get going. I think with the Hawks, if McCollum has another couple of those games, they can make this interesting. But I got Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5. That's the official prediction. So obviously 1-1 right now. The Hawks quite literally stole a game, 107-106. Their last.
CJ McCollum just got hot.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, on the Knicks side, talking about their star players, right? Karl Anthony Towns did his best to take over that game. I mean, he put up 18 with 8 rebounds, a couple assists to his name, but he ran into foul trouble, which is always kind of the big issue.
Well, and if you look, the big problem is he only got 12 shots.
Yes.
He's got to get more than 12.
Yes, and not from 3.
Exactly.
More shots.
He got 5 from 3.
But I mean, you look at Jalen Brunson. He's 29 points, 10 of 26 from the field, 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. It's not bad either. He put up 7 assists.
Well, and
he did his job.
In the last couple of playoffs, Josh Hart, he has been out rebounding everybody. 13 rebounds a game, I believe, over the last 2 postseasons. So he's going to get in there, get his nose in there. Mikal Bridges never misses a game. What can you say about the dude? If you can have one Bridges game, one Hart game, and you can seal this pretty quickly.
So what was it, before we move on to our final game, that allowed the Hawks to take that one?
CJ.
It really was just CJ.
Really, C.J. Johnson got in on the action a little bit. Nikhil Alexander-Walker had a couple of really big plays.
That was my play.
That was a big. He had some big minutes, and I mean 3 of 12, but that didn't really show the impact that he had. He had a couple big clutch buckets, but he was moving all over the place.
Yes, and you do need to go back to game 1 to watch him play again.
Yeah, it was, but that kind of goes to prove, as long as you're in the right situation, you can do things like that. He wasn't going to do anything like that in Minnesota. I mean, and Edwards and all of them. So you're not going to get the ball a whole lot, but he got the ball a little bit, and he was able to do some stuff with it. But yeah, between McCollum and Alexander Walker, that's the reason that they stole that game.
Nikhil Alexander Walker is definitely my big player of that game. I say if anybody is going to have have an impact on it, and who wins that one is going to be Hill. I think his defense is kind of the X factor that can move.
It is the X factor.
All right, but there's your prediction. I'll stick with Knicks for now, too. Now, my Celtics taking on the Sixers 1-1 right now. Boston just shot 53s in the game and knocked down 13 of them. So I feel like that says all it needs to say. Now, I'll give you the full breakdown of my thoughts on it real quick as we run out of time here. Boston is the better team than Philadelphia. There's no doubt about that at all. This game is only 1-1 because it was a cold shooting night. And even still, Boston put up 97. They were right at 100.
Oh, yeah.
They lost by 14. It's bad. Yes, they did lose.
And that's just only because they weren't knocking down their threes.
Exactly. But going forward in a series, Boston's offense, as three-heavy as it is sustainable for them. They have the talent. They have the skill. They have the game.
They made it work a couple years ago when they went to the finals.
Exactly. They made it work when they won the finals. So the Sixers, not a bad squad, not up to Boston's level. For me, that's an easy move on to Celtics. You can write it in. We did all this side in blue. Now, shout out VJ Edgecombe.
VJ Edgecombe was having a great game.
But I go back to it. You've got to have one, maybe two guys that play out of their minds to have a chance to beat Boston. And we're going to run into that on the other side as well. I don't know if Philadelphia has that every night. They're going to get a good night from Maxey, but if Edgecombe is off, if George doesn't contribute, I mean, they held one of their starters, Bona, to 0 points in 22 minutes.
Pretty solid job. And you got guys like Peyton Pritchard.
Andre Drummond is good. Yes, I don't think that team matches up very well into Boston. I think when Boston loses, it's because Boston wants to lose, not because Philadelphia wants to win.
That's fair.
All right, we're coming up on our first break. Here is our prediction for the East semis: Detroit, Cleveland, and New York and Boston, and what continues to be rivalry matchups down here. That's always pretty fun. But we're at Taco Bueno for this special NBA show. We're going to move on to the Western Conference here, give our predictions on that side, and then at the end of that one, we'll probably predict who goes on to the finals. Sound good?
I think that sounds pretty solid.
Taco Bueno, obviously up here on Northwest Expressway. They've got a brand new rewards app. You can sign up and get a free muchacho when you do. Taco Bueno, proud supporter of not just the Gospel Station Sports and Talk, but the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're the official taco of OKC.
Absolutely. Get a free taco on game days.
And game days happen a lot right now in playoffs.
Quite frequently.
That's a lot of free tacos. If food didn't spoil, you could stockpile those up for a long time.
For a rainy day.
Yeah, be ready to go come apocalypse or something, right? We're going to break.
Right.
When we come back, segment number 2, and we'll do the western side of the conference. Say aloha to your new favorite shaved ice and coffee shop, Aloha Shaved Ice. On the corner of Northwest 39th Expressway and Council. Aloha brings the summer vibes no matter what the weather looks like outside. Their year-round shaved ice means you get to enjoy classic flavors like grape, strawberry, and cotton candy, while their extensive selection of coffee complements that chill flavor perfectly. Looking for something different? Aloha has specialty drinks for days. Try the Banana Split, Fuzzy Monkey, Spider-Man, or Shrek. And trust us when we say that's only a small part of their specialty lineup. Sharp-eyed visitors may also notice Aloha's local support and drinks like the Bethany Broncos, SNU Crimson Storm, SCU Eagles, and Boomer Sooner. You can enjoy games like chess or Candyland while you dine in the cozy atmosphere, or sit outside and find yourself whisked away to the shore. Kick back with all your friends at Aloha, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway. Call 405-633-7778, and remember that you can take that sunshine with you thanks to their drive-thru lane. Aloha Shaved Ice and Coffee Shop, 8000 Northwest 39th Expressway.
405-633-7778.
This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, spring is here. And when you need help with all your tools, lawnmowers, and more, Evans Hardware out here in Midwest City is the place to be. 1021 South Douglas Boulevard. In the springtime, lawnmower maintenance is more important than ever. And Evans Hardware is the place to go for all your lawnmower maintenance tools. They've got seat repair, they've got brand new handles, blade sharpeners, and cleaners, and of course new belts line the walls as well. Remember, when you need lawnmower maintenance, power tools, stuff for the garden, and everything in between, Evans Hardware in Midwest City, 1021 South Douglas Boulevard is the place to go. Do it best here at Evans Hardware. And we return from our commercial break here on segment number 2. This is the game plan at Taco Bueno up on Northwest Expressway. Blake, tell us a little bit more about Taco Bueno.
Yeah, we're here at Taco Bueno. You get a free taco on Thunder Game Day. This is a great environment to be a part of. There's a couple of people that came up to us and said they'd come here a few times a week. So you can also download this rewards app, get a free muchacho upon sign up. They got a bunch of good stuff. The Chipotle cream of chicken is awesome, and I love the creamy jalapeno one.
It is pretty good. Taco Bueno, 7104 Northwest Expressway. Call 405-721-3936. Open 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friendly staff over here, and of course, under new management. Great location to come eat today. And stay safe, though. We're now in a tornado watch, apparently.
Yeah. As we're, in the midst of Thunder playoffs.
Right, as it tends to be around here. Yeah, right in the Rockwell Plaza shopping district. So stop by today. All right, we're moving on to the Western Conference. We're actually going to start at the bottom here.
We're going to go clockwise today. So.
Yes. So Spurs Blazers 1-1 in kind of a similar situation to what we saw over here with the Knicks, where the Blazers are definitely outmatched, but they still won on the back of a unique circumstance.
Oh, they did it. I mean, you hate to see that and hate to win that way, but you'll take a victory that'll get you one step closer to realizing your dreams of moving on in this bracket. The Spurs is absolutely tough break. Wemby's going to be in concussion protocol for a few days, probably, maybe even a week. They should still be able to get this done against the Blazers without Wemby. They got guys like Scott Castle and all those guys. So you should be able to get it done. We'll see how quickly Wemby comes back. You're missing a huge, defensive player of the year, huge anchor down low.
Unanimous defensive player of the year.
Unanimous.
First ever.
Still surprised that Chet didn't get one vote. But anyway, we digress. So should be a pretty easy one. They don't have one Dame Lillard out there, so I was looking at this one. I was giving them one game, so we're going to have to move a little bit quicker here because we got Tornado Watch and we ran a little long in the last segment, but I'm going with Spurs in 5.
Spurs in 5. San Antonio moves on to face the winner of Nuggets T-Wolves. Real quickly, my impact players for Spurs Blazers mostly comes down to the Blazers because, the Spurs are going to have to step up with Wemby out, but I'm looking at Drew Holiday.
Two-time champion.
Looking at him to have an impact. We know Henderson is going to put up points. We know Avila is going to put up points. Where is Klingon in this one, right? Where is maybe Williams the third off the bench, right? You've got your guys. They need to step up even more because you got to put your foot on the throat here. You got to see this and say, okay, this is our time. We got to go.
The big advantage that the Blazers have right now, role players play way better at home.
Yes.
With the crowd behind them. You could easily get one of these two games, if not both. If Wemby's out for both, you could get both of them.
Which is why, again, I think we could see a big game from one of those bench role players.
Yes.
And also...
especially somebody like Klingon.
Yes. And you also got to I'm saying also a lot. I don't know why. You also got to bring up Jeremy Grant, who was 1 for 8 in like 20 minutes. That's just not going to cut it. But I think he does also perform better at home.
He does.
Marker.
If you watch Thunder basketball in the Westbrook triple-double era, you know good and well that he can get hot in a hurry.
So those are my impact players. I look for Drew Holiday in the start to make a big issue, and Jeremy Grant off the bench to kind of help or maybe propel them to one more at them.
Possibly. And Nuggets. I believe with the Spurs, Olynyk is on their roster now, so he can knock down some big shots.
Nuggets
anyway,
T-Wolves.
Let's move on. So Nuggets T-Wolves, this is one of the matchups in the Western Conference of the entire bracket, really. As it has been throughout the last 20 years, the West is now the heavy part. This is a little bit lighter. I mean, it flip-flops all the time, so it just depends. Like now it's West heavy. It used to be East heavy, and it goes back and forth like that. But so we got Nuggets, and what can we say about Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon and all them, and then you got Ant-Man on the T-Wolves, who just absolutely loves to go after everybody, who will not beat the Michael Jordan's son allegations. And then big pickup from them a few years ago. I believe Mike Conley is still on the roster, so he's a big veteran presence. And they said a couple years ago they want to at least get to a finals for him, because he's just been a consistent contributor in the league for his entire career, starting with the Memphis Grizzlies on to the T-Wolves. So this is going to be a really fun one, and let's just put out the obvious. Jokic. We're just going to do this for time's sake. Aaron Gordon.
Sorry, I'll get this out of your way there.
And Christian Brown is also going to be a really big one. He's really big defensively for them. He can knock down key shots, and he can yam it on a guy or two every once in a while. So I'm going to go.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Minnesota.
Denver in 6.
I thought you were going to do it.
I can't. They got too much horsepower on the Nuggets side.
This is honestly probably the most fun matchup out of any of the first round.
Well, these two are going to end up right here, and that's going to be the matchup because that's who gets to play OKC.
Yeah, true. Very true. And last game, it was a very narrow Minnesota win, 5 points, 119-114.
Yeah, I went to bed because I thought it was over because they were 20 points ahead.
It was not. Murray put up 30, Jokic put up 24, Johnson put up 13, and Braun put up 16 as the Nugget starters. For Minnesota, though, you had 30 out of Edwards, 24 out of Julius Randle, had 16 out of DiVincenzo, and 14 out of McDaniels. Gobert was the one that was quiet, but he got it done on the board with 7 rebounds and an assist to his name.
Yeah, and McDaniels is a dog out there on the defensive side. So is DiVincenzo. He can also knock down big shots for them. Let's go ahead and write him down. We're not going to write down his whole name because I don't want to spell it. And then we'll just say J Mac on the key players for there, and obviously Ant. And if you can get a big Rudy Gobert game defensively, as he kind of locked Jokic down for that first game, the Nuggets got to win, but Gobert did a very good job on Jokic.
That was interesting going back to game 1 because it felt like Jokic, is he ever going to get started in this one? I think we've seen now over two games the way the T-Wolves put it all together.
Yes.
So I would not count Minnesota out of this game. I think Minnesota could stun Denver.
They absolutely could. I just don't think they will, just because of the Nuggets have the extra experience on their side of going to and winning the finals, going to some Western Conference finals over their 5-year stretch. So let's go ahead and move on.
Someone's got to get there, right? It's either going to be Denver's experience or Edwards' hunger. So someone's going to win.
I will not be surprised if the T-Wolves win it.
I'm going to go with the T-Wolves. We'll differ on that one.
Okay. Well,
here, write it in green.
Right in green. There we go. We'll just put a T right there.
Okay.
Dent. There's a dent in the board. All right.
Hopefully not. I just bought this.
All right. Now to the matchup to decide who gets to lose to OKC in the second round. Lakers-Rockets, which I only caught the first game when LeBron absolutely went nuts.
Dude's like 50.
I know. It's ridiculous. He's 90 in NBA years. But no KD in that first game, so that didn't help the Rockets' case. Amen Thompson was not doing well. It was just a lackluster performance from top to bottom. They made a slight comeback at the end, but it just wasn't enough. Because I believe if I remember right, they were down by as much as I believe 20-25. But with the last game, KD went on an absolute tear, which I don't like saying that. That just makes me gag. But one of the best scorers of all time. Şengün, he's incredible. Young guy who can drop a triple double at the drop of a hat. Then Amen Thompson, Josh Okogie, he can really make a difference out there. But Clint Capella is an absolute machine on defense off the bench for him. Dorian Finney-Smith, if he gets in, he can knock down some key corner threes. Uncle Jeff, I'd like to see him get a couple minutes, but just that's the big ones off the bench, and then obviously Josh Smith Jr. or Jabari Smith Jr.
Now, I'm a Boston fan, so I don't like talking about the Lakers, but I do think in this game it kind of does come down again to the health, right?
Yes.
LA is missing two really big players in Luka and Reeves. You can't not say that. You can't ignore that.
No.
They're hanging around giving Houston a lot of trouble without two stars. And we know if they do make it to the semis, Luka's supposed to come back, right?
Luka is basically essentially week to week. So from what I heard, Luka, if they make it to the next round, which it's looking like they will right now, Luka will come back to play the Thunder, who will probably get there.
In the 101-94 loss, LeBron James put up 28, Marcus Smart put up 25, and Kendrick put up 23.
Yeah,
so they did have their really good performers. Now, who are you more confident in, the supporting cast of the Lakers or the supporting cast of Houston?
As of right now, the supporting cast of the Lakers, they just haven't gotten going. Of course, Lakers were at home the past couple of games, so that factors into it. KD he's not the guy anymore that can just drag you where he wants you to go. And, I mean, he's never really been that guy. He's never really been a true leader. He's just out there, I want to come in, drop my 25, and go home. That's all he's ever been, really. But Rui Hachimura, he can knock down big shots. DeAndre Ayton, he's iffy. Sometimes he can get hot. Sometimes he's not. Marcus Smart, absolute dog on defense. OSU's own again. And then Luke Kennard, he just went absolutely nuts that first game. 27 points. I don't even remember what he was from three, but he just went on an absolute tear. So
the one thing that worries me about LA is that they seem streaky at times.
They are streaky.
And I would not be surprised if Houston gets better the longer the series goes.
Yeah, well, for one, they're streaky, and number two, LeBron's 41 years old.
It doesn't seem to matter much. They just make him mad and then he drops 40.
Well, I don't think he pays attention right here, but he's 41. Eventually, it's going to catch up to him. That might be here, but eventually it's going to catch up to him. But then if they can get here, Luka will be back and he can take over.
So you think Lakers are moving on?
I do not.
Oh, hold on here. We go through all of that, and he writes in Houston.
That's what I picked to start the series. I did not know KD was going down. I'm sticking with it because that's what I picked prior to this. So,
hey, at least you stick with it. At least you're real.
Are you picking Lakers?
I actually do think the Lakers move on, yes. Okay. Here, we'll write that down.
I'll let you write it down.
Yeah. LAL. There we go. All right, Thunder Suns, our fun one. You're wearing the final champion shirt.
I mean, there's really not much to say here. I thought this would be Warriors, so it's the Suns, but,
Did it change much? It
didn't change a whole lot. So to begin the series, I thought Golden State was going to get those two play-in games. I didn't think the Suns had the firepower, but they just absolutely shut Steph down in that play-in game. So the Thunder and the Suns, all the complaining and stuff like that. Dylan Brooks, the main reason I wanted the Warriors is because I do not want to deal with Dylan Brooks for 4 to 7 games. So he's a menace. He knows who he is. He plays his role very well. Devin Booker could get hot on a night, steal a game. The supporting cast also could. I'm blanking on his name. Gillespie could get hot. Then There we go. Royce O'Neal. That's who I was looking for. Royce O'Neal. He can get really hot in a hurry. You saw it a few years ago. Whenever the Suns went to the finals, they ended up losing. But Royce can knock down 3-4 shots in a row and get them back into it. But I'll let you.
I will speak on the complaining the officiating because, listen, it was bad. It was horrendous officiating that second game. I mean, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I turned it off at halftime. It looked over to me.
There was no reason to deny it. Now, the accusations are that official that was called out and the head of all the officials are Thunder fans. That's the official. So they're saying it was corrupt.
Okay.
So that's the accusation.
It's been corrupt for 3 years. But
true. I will say to this point, that's a league problem. That's not a Thunder problem.
It's not a Thunder problem. And here's the thing. Nobody complains when Devin Booker flops and gets a foul call. I mean, I saw that a couple of times during this series, during the first game.
To my point, it was bad both ways. It was just horrendous.
Nobody cares when LeBron flops and gets calls. No one cares when KD flops and gets calls. It's all SGA. He's the only foul baiter, even though I think he's 4 or 5 in free throw attempts on the regular season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right there. And, by the way, in Game 2, he took, 3 free throws?
He took 5 free throws. That was before they put him back in to make sure they sealed the win.
He put up 37 on 13 to 25 shooting from the field.
Yeah, if any of y'all are SGA dislikers, let's say, are you happy now that he got 30 on 5 free throw attempts?
No, they're not.
That's where I'll put that.
They're not going to be happy. The thing with SGA is he knows his game, too.
Well, so I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but my dad taught me if you get to the cup, good things tend to happen. Yep. The Thunder tend to get to the rim. Mm-hmm. They don't really. Aside from a couple people, they don't shoot a ton of threes. They shoot their fair share, but they don't shoot a ton of threes.
Not like Boston would.
No, not even close to. No. There's very few teams in the league that are like Boston in terms of three shooting, but they get to the rim. And whenever you get to the rim, you get contact, good things happen, and everybody else just bombs threes. That's why there's an elevated level of calls probably for OKC and not as much for anybody else.
What I think about is SGA is he ignores all the rest. He doesn't care about it. He's he'll take the foul calls, then he'll take a game like this. It doesn't matter to him. So
whatever it takes to win.
We see these games where it's 17 free throws, and then we see these games where it's 5, and he's consistently performing at an MVP level, no matter what.
It doesn't matter.
The problem is absolutely, as it is in football, with the league and the officiating, not the players.
Yes.
Because I do still think in the NBA, they limit what defenders are allowed to do and not allowed to do too much.
Best era of basketball was 98 to 2010. Don't at me.
So OKC is moving on.
We're going to OKC. I picked them in 5 because I thought the Warriors were going to get this. Steph just goes scorching hot one game, steals one. But Thunder in 5.
I would absolutely see the Suns being shut out in this one. I think this is one
I could easily see them getting swept.
If not the only shutout in the playoffs. 4-0 win there. So we're up on our next commercial break here. We're going to go back, and when we come back, we'll preview finals, preview the semis, and kind of give you our predictions for who's NBA finals. And maybe we'll get a special guest from one of the staff here at Taco Bueno.
Be a good time.
Taco Bueno, 7104 Northwest Expressway, right here in Oklahoma City, in the heart of it, up Rockwell on the intersection. Our friends at Victory Mattress Outlet are right across the road. And this is a great area to be. I mean,
it really is.
Awesome location, easy to get to, easy to get out of, and it's right in the middle of everything. And we've said it a couple times, friendly people, but really, when it's Thunder game night, there's not much of a better environment.
No, absolutely. I mean, tacos and basketball, what more could you want?
No, not much. Not much more. Hey, and with all the games going tonight, we've been staying up till 1 in the morning pretty consistently.
Yeah.
We're tired, but I will take this moment to say we have high school baseball tomorrow, and we invite everybody to tune in. It's at 5 p.m.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. We'll both be on the call.
We will be. Final regular season game of the year. So let's go back to break, and then when we come back, we'll preview our upcoming rounds.
Here at Integrity, we're more than just a name.
We can be reached directly at 405-833-5992 or online at integrityheatingandair.com. Remember, we offer free estimates and second opinions on HVAC, plumbing, and electrical.
We offer a lot of services all around the metro. We go within 130 miles. Today here we want to show you our trailer. Basically what we consider angioplasty for your home, just like you would with surgery. We go in and kind of can save the pre-existing lines no matter the condition. Any old cast iron, any Orangeburg, any clay pipe that's pre-existing inside or outside, we can go in and completely reline the inside of that pipe to make it like it's brand new.
We recently did a house. It was 70 to 80 feet of liner. We left the house how we got there. We didn't have to break nothing up.
We are now taking care of a secondary branch line that goes to a bathroom. With us doing this, it makes sure that you get many, many years of service out of your line, and we're able to do as good of a job as we can.
Integrity Services. New location, but same great service you've come to know and love. We can be reached at 405-833-5992. Give us a call.
Give us a call.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law and enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. At the home of the C&J Sporting Goods, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Eris Lunara Med Spa and Aesthetics at 800 South Garth Brooks Boulevard, Suite 100 utilizes cutting-edge technology and personalized treatment plans centered around your goals, your comfort, and your natural beauty. Experience a range of services from IV therapy, Sculptra, acne treatments, and much more. With state-of-the-art machines like the T-Shape 2, Eris Lunara offers non-invasive, proven, and natural solutions for healthier skin that will have you feeling exquisite and rejuvenated. Other services like platelet-rich plasma therapy and peptide therapy not only enhance your natural features, but promote recovery and health at all levels. Call 405-563-1255 or stop by 800 South Garth Brooks Boulevard, Suite 100 to find out about what Eris Lunara Med Spa and Aesthetics can do for you. Remember, call 405-563-1255 today.
There we go.
All right, we are back for our final segment here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. This is the Game Plan with Luke Young and Blake Vance, live at Taco Bueno up here on Northwest Expressway, 7104 Northwest Expressway to be exact. Stop by here anytime. Super friendly people and great food. Taking a peek up on the menu, they've got tacos, quesadillas, burritos, all the Mexican food staples, but their desserts and their platters, their group items, are really where the magic happens. Try the whole lot of box. We usually get it half and half, burritos and tacos for the coaches shows, but they've also got platters that you can get enchiladas and chimichangas and all this kind of stuff. And the dessert menu is very, very interesting. They have what's called the cheesecake chimneys, and you can get them in both chocolate and raspberry dip. Oh, that's good stuff. That's real good stuff.
Don't tempt me. I'm on a diet.
Stop by Taco Bueno today. Speak to General Manager Jermaine when he's here and all of his friendly staff members. Call 405-721-3936. They accept all forms of contactless payment. And again, it's just a great environment to be in on game day.
It's a lot of fun.
Blake, though, speaking of game day,
all right,
we got some games tonight, and
we do.
I hear you have some thoughts.
Well, yes, I do. And I'm only going to take a couple minutes right here.
Take it away. I'm out of frame. Take it away.
Kind of like I did with SGA right there, but that only took like 15 seconds though. But anyway, I'm going to pull this up. Luke, I have it, and people at home watching, I've got a big problem with big men in today's NBA, such as Karl Anthony Towns shooting 18 threes a game, but we're not going to get into the three-point shooting. I'm just going to say, if you are a quote-unquote big man and you are averaging fewer than 9.5 rebounds a game, there's a problem. Josh Hart is out-rebounding almost everybody in the league, aside from Nikola Jokic this postseason. Josh Hart is 6'3". There are 7-footers that are not getting more rebounds than Josh Hart. And it's really starting to irritate me. Over the regular season, there are, let me count them, 1, 2, 3, let's call it 5. 5 legit big men averaging over 10 rebounds. That's atrocious. Charles Barkley was 6'4", and he averaged 10 rebounds. This is just my little soapbox. I just wanted to get on it real quick. Luke gave me the grace of letting me take a couple minutes here. Yeah, Bam Adebayo, he's only averaging 9. Khalil Ware, 9. Chet Holmgren, I'm sorry for those of you at home, 8.9. I'm not going to round up for him. I don't care. Moose Diabate, 8.7. Andre Drummond, 8.4. That's an absolute joke. But anyway, so that's my little soapbox. I only took like a minute there, but I just wanted to say.
That was pretty short. I'm proud of you. You were concise and to the point.
If I go too much longer, I will take the entire segment.
That's funny. So our games tonight, the Knicks and the Hawks, Cavs and the Raptors, and the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. These are our current matchups happening tonight. So what do we think about just generally our predictions? Do we feel like we've got solid predictions that will come to pass here?
I believe so. I think I'm only not confident in maybe 2.
I say I'm confident in this. I'm confident in this. Obviously, we differed here.
Yeah. So I'm not as confident right here because, I mean, it's Nuggets T-Wolves. They're both fairly evenly matched. I'm not very confident in Lakers Rockets because that could literally go either way with the supporting cast. And I'm not 100% confident in Pistons Magic. That's pretty much the only ones.
Okay. So let's go ahead now and preview the semis and final matchups on both sides, starting here.
Starting in Detroit.
And Cleveland.
Cleveland.
If this is our potential matchup, how do you see the series going?
Let me check my... So, while I do absolutely love the Cavs team as a whole, omitting James Harden, Detroit has a lot of firepower on their squad. Cade Cunningham, he could just take over a game or two. But I just think they have too much youth and inexperience, so I'm going Cavs in 6.
Ooh, okay. If the Cavs make
James Harden has been there before.
Down Detroit. I actually kind of agree with you. I thought in this playoffs, Detroit was the weakest top seed. I mean, I don't think maybe, the Spurs are as good without Wemby like they are without Cade Cunningham when he was injured.
Yeah.
But I think even with him back, I'd say this is the most likely to play out like that.
Well, they're like, so Detroit is a bit like, and the Spurs are the same way. So Detroit and the Spurs are kind of like OKC 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago. They're a year away from being a year away.
Right.
Too much youth, too much inexperience. They did really well, but I think youth and inexperience is going to take over, and Harden's been there before.
Knicks, Celtics. This should be, in my opinion, easy Celtics. This is, as I said, another rivalry matchup that just has not gone New York's way recently.
Now, in Boston, they like to get after you on defense. I think they're going to bother Cat a lot. I think they're going to bother Brunson a lot and all the other guys. So I got Boston in 5. I think Knicks can steal a game at home with Brunson just going nuts, Cat having just a monster game. But I'm picking Boston in 5.
Right. I agree with you on that one. Bringing Boston up to the conference finals. They were supposed to be in a down year. They've only gotten stronger with Jason Tatum's return. Not to mention that all their guys coming off the bench, I think back to Pritchard, who's 6th man of the year, Vucevic, who's doing great right now.
Who comes off the bench and nails 3-quarter court shots.
As long as the three's falling, they're winning.
Yeah.
Other side, Western Conference.
All right.
We differed here. Spurs to Nuggets, Spurs to T-Wolves.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on this. Wemby could probably do a little something, assuming he's back. I think Jokic bodies him, but I think Wemby does a little something against Jokic because I've met traffic cones that play more defense than Jokic. But I got to go Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 6. Now, if it's the Timberwolves, I feel like it still does.
That might be a little bit different, but it'd probably be T-Wolves in 7.
I think it still does depend on Wembanyama's health. He's going to be day-to-day. He's not week-to-week, which helps. I think San Antonio will move on no matter what, and we get as a spoiler for the next one, I think we get San Antonio, OKC one more time this year.
Okay.
So
That'd be a fun. Either one's gonna be a lot of fun.
say yes. All right. So our final semis: Oklahoma City taking on one of Houston and LA.
Yes.
Should be, no matter what, an OKC win.
In theory, yes. So Houston, pretty much every holdover from the time KD was here is long gone. So they don't really care that much about that whole rivalry. Everybody in OKC does.
Mm-hmm.
They want OKC to sweep Houston, and they want to do it very convincingly. They would love nothing more. I'm speaking for all of Oklahoma City. They would love nothing more than 4 50-point wins in a row against Houston.
No.
So while I don't think that's going to happen, and they've all their guys, I think Houston won one against OKC this year, if I'm not mistaken, but they didn't have a great series. OKC in 6.
Now, for my pick, if it is LA and we do have Luka back, I think that is a longer series. I mean, we've seen OKC go to 7 and win in their championship year. I do think OKC would still win, but I think LA might give them a little bit more trouble.
LA would probably give them a lot more trouble just because of Luka. Luka always gives OKC trouble every single time. I don't know if it's a lack of, I don't know how to defend this guy. I mean, there was a guy, 40 years ago named Larry Bird that he couldn't jump over a curb too, and he could get a shot off over anybody. So, I think it'd be a little bit longer of a series, but if it was LA, I'd pick OKC in 7.
Our final point here, Jalen Williams being injured does play a big role.
Yeah, it does play a role.
But Presti and OKC prepared for this. I mean, this is why they went out.
They play without him for 2 months, so
exactly.
They know how to play without him.
They're prepared for this. They've got the depth. They've got the talent.
They're missing some offense and a little bit of defense, but
OKC moves on. But when that happens, it just tends to be Caruso who steps up, or Dort who steps up.
Yeah, they're going to miss out a little bit of defense. He averaged, I think, a couple steals a game, so they're missing out a little bit, but everybody else makes up for that. It's really defense by committee there anyway. So,
all right, let's stay on the West. You got this one: OKC, San Antonio, or OKC, Denver.
So if it's San Antonio, I'm a lot more worried because for some reason Chet just does not like playing Wemby. Don't know why, but SGA can do what he does, and everybody seems to change up their game plan whenever they're going up against the Spurs. OKC is a lot more drive and kick. They don't do that a whole lot against the Spurs.
It's hard to drive in Wemby.
It's hard, but if you can drive in, get him in foul trouble, you might have something there. So I do, if it's San Antonio, I would still probably lean OKC in 7, but it would be a tough one.
They would have home court.
They would have home court.
If it's Denver.
If it's Denver, we beat them once before. We can do it again. OKC in 7.
My thoughts exactly. You write that in, you got the blue marker. OKC in the finals, 2nd year in a row on their title defense campaign. Cleveland, Boston. This is a fun one, a matchup we've seen in the playoffs before as well.
Take it away.
I have a hard time. I've said since really we found out that Jason Tatum was going to come back, that Boston is going to be in the finals, and we are going to have OKC Boston. I do think this goes 6, 7 games, without a doubt. I think Cleveland, if they make it to this point, is going to play with that fire. I mean, despite his good. He's a really good player. I mean, when you've got teams like these two do of really good players, you're going to get a really good series. But it's so hard to slow down Boston's total volume of points. They have to do it. And I go back to what I said here. Boston has to do it to themselves to lose.
Well, I mean, not to harp back on this again, but when did we ever accuse James Harden of playing defense?
True. And Boston does have their guys. I mean, I pointed out Jaylen Brown is going nuts. Jason Tatum is back, and he has slotted into the number 2 perfectly, a quality 20 points a game with the assists, with the rebounds. I don't see
and don't forget Jaylen Brown, who should have been an MVP candidate this year. He kept Boston afloat for the entire season.
He did. I don't see how Boston loses in the East.
I can't find a viable way that they do lose. They should get past the Sixers really easy. They should. I mean, it might be a series, but they should get past the Knicks, and then Cleveland. I don't think it's going to be a contest.
Again, if there was more time, Detroit isn't the one, and Boston is.
Yeah,
it was all a matter of time. So I think it's OKC Boston in the finals.
As it might have should have been last year, because Jason Tatum went down and ended up being Indiana.
Yep.
But
now this is the fun one. The NBA Finals. It goes 7 no matter what.
It's going 7.
There's even a brewing rivalry here. Last year's champion, past champions in the Celtics.
22, if I'm not mistaken.
Jaylen Brown doesn't like SGA. Both these teams can put up ridiculous amounts of points.
You mean that foul baiter?
They can both play each other's game very well, is what it feels like. So if that's our NBA Finals matchup, what are we feeling?
I just don't think that Boston can keep up the barrage of threes that they would against OKC's defense. So OKC in 7.
OKC in 7. Okay. That's Blake's official pick. I'm wearing the jersey. I've got to go the other way. I think it's going to be Boston, but I also think it would be 7.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those deals where as long as everybody is healthy, reasonably healthy, I believe is going to be the matchup in this finals. I don't see anybody that can really contend that well with OKC aside from San Antonio, and I don't see anybody that's going to get Boston. So I'm 100% sure Boston's going to be in the finals.
Here's what I think. I think the big point of emphasis is health. I think the big point of emphasis is rolls.
Yes.
They're going to take the threes. I think they're going to hit the threes. Derek White will match up with OKC well. We know that. He's been there before. But it's Hauser out of the starting role. It's Keita out of the starting role. We need to see how those guys play again on the biggest stage against a team trying to go back-to-back. I think it makes for, by far, the best series out of this playoffs.
This will be the best series.
And, of course, I've talked about Garza. I've talked about Vucevic. I haven't mentioned Shireman's name yet, who he has been a pretty good player off the bench for him,
he's been solid.
There's a lot going both ways here, which is why I think this is what we're going to end up with. Because leagues like this tend to find a way to put the best two teams in the finals and make amazing storylines out of it.
And Hauser, who has shot more threes than twos this season.
Pretty much.
Most of the twos he's shot, his foot was on the line.
I got to pull up the box score from that last Philadelphia game. 8 3-pointers for Tatum, 8 3-pointers for Hauser. White had 10, Brown had 12. And then Vucevic had 4 off the bench. Pritchard had 4 off the bench. Keita had none, which that's not this game. But Peyton Pritchard going 0 for 4 was really what hurt them. And obviously Derek White, 20%.
And that's rare for Pritchard to go 0 for 4.
Exactly. It's rare. So you see these guys who it's rare to shoot that bad, and not more closer to 50-50.
I'm going to make a bad comparison here. Pritchard is Boston's J.R. Smith. He is 9-1-1 for Boston. Here's into shot clock, put this up from 40. He doesn't really care about the percentage. He just wants to see if it will go in.
And, I mean, he's the player who makes people say, hey, maybe we shouldn't count half-court shots against the percentage.
That's kind of what I like. Whenever I was watching Boston and Dallas that year, every time Pritchard touched the ball at half-court, I was like, no.
Now, Boston rolls through the East, I think, as easily as they will, because man-to-man, I think they match up better.
They do, against pretty much everybody.
There are the heavy hitters in the West, and this is why OKC is favorited. San Antonio's number 2 and Boston's number 3. They'll meet a challenge in the West that they just won't have faced on this side. And you pointed to it earlier, the Western Conference are the heavy hitters more so than the East this year. So, yes, I will.
It's been that way for the past couple of years.
I will give you OKC would have the advantage. They'd be the 1 seed, home floor, all that good stuff, I believe, in the finals. So,
yeah,
I would say they would have the advantage.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think they're losing more than 3 games through all these rounds.
I agree. But I think no matter what, it goes 7 games.
Yes.
All right.
And yeah, OKC is going to be beat up by the time they get here, or San Antonio, because it's going to be a bunch of multi-game series.
It's a bet. OKC Boston in the NBA Finals. That's the pick. Some games here, some games way up north. How about that travel time?
Oh, that's going to be rough.
We'll be there. If I could get tickets for that, tell you what, I'd be there.
Oh, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
A heartbeat. The only thing I want to see out of this entire NBA Finals is just for them to figure out the officiating. Same thing for that. Same thing for the NFL. It's like, we should have this figured out by now.
I don't. Maybe it's because I grew up in the 90s, but I like a little elbows to the rib cage and all that good stuff, but it's not the modern NBA.
I guess not, unfortunately. Well, we're done here. We've been live from Taco Bueno for this amazing NBA special show. We had a lot of fun here. Thanks so much to Mr. Jermaine Franklin and the staff at Taco Bueno for letting us come by. And thanks to you guys for tuning into this show. It'll be posted on our YouTube most likely tomorrow. So if you missed some of it, want to go back and review the predictions, or if you want to come back in the future and tell us we were stupid for our choices, it'll be on YouTube.
Go ahead and bookmark it. I don't care.
We'll take it. We'll wear that one with pride. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. And once again, Taco Bueno up here on Northwest Expressway. Stop by and eat. Great deals. Get the app. They're also now hiring, so if you know someone who wants to be part of the Taco Bueno family, stop by here and inquire about it. They're great people, and it's a great team. Anything else from you, Blake?
Okay, see you in 7.
A champion versus champion matchup to decide who gets it in 2026. I'm down for that. Boston in 7. Have a great night. God bless.
God bless.